Where am I?
So you're the hunter. Well. I've never had blueberry before.
Fatalis?
You know why they call me Fatalis, the long, black, big dragon?
Why they call you that?
You're gonna find out.
Please, be gentle. That didn't really happen. April Fools!
Hurry up! I'm feeling very hot today.
Coming, sweetie. Sorry, duty calls. With that said... Hello and kumusta? This is the Artsi and I'll tell you about how Monster Hunter World got me addicted to, well, hunting monsters. I know, animal abuse, whatever. It's super fun, so Now, to be honest, this is my first Monster Hunter game, so add it with a grain of salt while watching this. I might say something stupid to the veterans watching this, but it's just my opinion. So, put down your sniper rifle pointing at my head and let's get down to business. Monster Hunter World. Where should I even begin? This game took me by surprise. Beautiful settings, beautiful monsters, and some beautiful characters. The game is just a beautiful world. Except for this bitch. I rolled. I never expected the game to be this hard. And I dare say, this is much harder than Souls-like games. Yes, even Sekiro, the game that I consider the hardest in the Souls franchise. But that's just my opinion. And why is it harder than Souls games? Well, if you're asking me that means you haven't tried out these games yet. Or, if you tried it, you've never finished it. Let alone even making it out of the low rank missions. Hunting the monsters in the game is the sole purpose of you being here. That's why it's called Monster Hunter. But hunting the monsters here are something else. Each of the monsters in the game have their own uniqueness that define who they are. Monsters feel otherworldly, but at the same time, realistic. Their approach for designing the monsters is really clever. What they do is combine everything what they think of, mixing that, and then turning it into a monster. Of course, not in a sloppy way. It made you feel more connected because of the realism, but still feels immersive when you're fighting the monsters in a somewhat fantasy setting. Take for example, how they designed the monster Barroth. It looks like a dinosaur with rocks for its face, but it behaves like a hippo and attacks like a bulldozer. They combine an animal and a vehicle and then turn it into this gorgeous thing. And do you know what this monster eats? It's ants. It's an anteater. It eats insects for this massive size. Like whales that eat planktons. Well, whales doesn't necessarily just eat planktons, but it is their favorite. Maybe they also added that as a base behavior for the monster. How about we go deeper? What about this monster, the Patrikios? Their vision for this monster was that of a missile. And boy did they deliver. He's fucking annoying. Imagine if Mike Tyson had Bakugo's power from My Hero Academia. Oh, and did you also know this monster is fucking annoying? What about this one, a T-Rex that attacks like an NFL player, or a bull but that dives underground like in the movies Tremors? Or what about a giant lizard with the most fabulous hair? And I don't know why, but it feels Jamaican. You see how they designed the monsters? They poured all out their imagination for each monster, brainstorm how they behave, and the result is that each of the monsters are memorable, and I'm not exaggerating by the way. Those are the monsters in the game. But what about the hunters? It's not Monster Hunter if I just talk about the monsters, no! It's also all about you, because the game cares about you. You and your money. I'm kidding. Well, half of it. Anyway, you as a hunter must analyze each of the monsters' behavior, what they eat, where they sleep, what's their weaknesses, and what are they immune to. Your job as a hunter is to capture or put them out of their misery for each of these monsters. And also, the wiki says there are about 94 monsters including small and large. And let me tell ya, if this is your first time playing one of these games, you are in for a ride. What is a hunter? A hunter's job is to seek, pursue, capture, and kill any wildlife or feral animals for its body to use as meat to eat, or that can be turned into any useful product. That I just read on Wiki. But it's simple being a hunter, right? Well, it's a different story if you're hunting a literal dinosaur in the game. So, what do? You even the playing field. If the monsters have their own size, the hunters have their own way of matching to that size. And when I said their own way, I mean two: the hunter's weapons and items. Let's go with weapons first. There are about 14 types of... Wait, let me recheck. Okay, there are about 14 types of weapons in the game. 11 for melee and 3 for long-range weapons. We got the Great Sword, the poster boy of the series. We got the Sword and Shield, but feels like your Captain America when you use it. We got the Levi build, the dual blades. We got the Samurai blade. We got Bonk weapon, another Bonk weapon but has music in it, the Pokeboy but with the gun, a Sword and Shield that transforms into an axe with lightning attacks, or a sword that transforms into a chainsaw, a weapon that lets you become a warframe,
I am the bone of my soul,
and the two Rambo guns, the light and the
Heavy machine gun.
All of these weapons are super duper fun to use. My go-to weapon is the Pokeboy with the gun, and boy, is it fun to blow your big gun into the monster's face. That sounds wrong. Well, anyway, using each of these weapons of course has its own unique type of gameplay. Mastering each of the weapons feels so satisfying, and bringing your choice of weapon also makes the hunt feel different each time. If you bring a great sword, prepare to get infuriated because most of your attacks are gonna miss 99.99% of the time. And the remaining percent is the satisfaction when you finally hit the monster's head. If you go for the gun lance, my choice of weapon, prepare to move slowly to the monster and give them a load of bullets to the face. Or forgetting to reload each time you use it. Or what about you bring the Sword and Shield, where you are so agile you can dodge almost every attack the monster throws at you, flying through the air and bashing their head with your shield. Or get hit mid-air, interrupting your satisfying combo. Each of these weapons have its own advantages and disadvantages. Find the weapon that fits to your playstyle and of course, have fun with it. Let me warn you though, hunting is not all about the weapons. Even choosing the fastest or the strongest weapon in the game won't carry you until the end of the game, unless you're really good at the game. And what I meant by good is that you've been playing the game since the first release, and I'm talking about the OG Monster Hunter game. Kudos to you, you legendary hunter. Of course, you're not a hunter without hunting items. You have traps, but not just any traps, but one with shock traps or a pitfall trap. This method is used if you want to capture the monsters, sure, or you can have your free hits in while the monster is unable to move. If you want more gunpowder, you can put a barrel bomb while they're down and hit it to explode them on their faces, and to send you flying mid-air. You also have your support items to buff you up, more damage, more armor. Oh, and FYI, you can stock up these buffs. And speaking of buffs, there are also permanent items that buffs you also for no time limit, as long as the item is in your item bag. What about this item? The Clutch Claw. This is essential to your gameplay. The Clutch Claw's use is to wound the monster, so you can have more damage while hitting the monster. Or hit them with the head with your slingshot to the wall so you can give them a concussion before you kill them. Like, it's not bad enough you cut their tail. Speaking of slingshots, there are several types of ammo you can use. You can either use it to stun, to lure, to blind, to damage, etc. And don't get me started on the mantles. The weapons are your bread, but using every items in your arsenal is your butter. Healing items, slingshots, clutch claw, traps, buffing yourself, buffing your teammates, specific cures to what ailments you have. Be it poison, getting on fire, getting cold, getting zapped, getting to sleep, everything. You need to know how to use your items very effectively and when to use it. You know what? Let me rephrase my statement earlier. The weapons and your items are both your butter, but the bread is your knowledge of the game, and that knowledge will carry you throughout the game. While hunting, I discovered that the most important thing is not your weapon, and it's not your item either. The most important thing in the game is your knowledge of the game. I'm not talking about how long you've played this game to know everything like a nerd, though it does make the game a lot smoother. But it's not that. But what I'm talking about is learning the game as you progress through, not just the mechanics, but by observing the monsters, using the environments to your advantage, knowing what items you have to use, knowing your movesets with your chosen weapon, and memorizing the attack patterns and behavior of the monster. If you're just playing the game, not exploring all the things you could do, just brute forcing your way into the game, you could do that, sure, it's your gameplay anyway. Play how you want it to play. But I am telling you this, you're missing out a lot of fun, how the game is intended to play, how to really hunt in the game. Playing or hunting in this game is, in my experience, are both fun and infuriating at the same time. At first glance, the gameplay looks clunky, and I guess you could say that's true. But when you play the game, it kinda had this weight to it, like every movement you should do should count. And it feels like that's also part of the gameplay. And surprisingly, it didn't have a negative effect. Actually, it's quite the opposite. It actually made the hunt more fun and interesting. Those who played the game should know what I'm talking about. The gameplay is so good, but the story is another thing. Now, first, let me apologize to the Monster Hunter community because I really thought that the game wasn't that good. And I thought of it as a watered down Dark Souls, but a happier version than a darker one. I know, but I played it, so there's that. It's not like I don't like the theme of the game, but to be fair, the story and dialogue was kinda cringe a bit. And since I have a lot of playtime now, I still hold my first impression of the story, and that it sucks. There were some cool moments, but no. There are also sometimes some stupid but funny moments like keeping Teostra in the special arena area, but there's a huge gap above you, so it's not really in captivity. Oh, by the way, this monster can fly, by the way. Most of the Elder Dragons can fly for those who haven't played this game yet. And the Volcano one, when they're trying to halt its movement, to give them some time, but the wall isn't that high. Oh, and it also flies, by the way. But it just stay there and fight us. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. And don't get me started about how killing the monsters are for the ecosystem. But, spoilers alert, I'll give you 5 seconds. By halfway on the DLC, you've hunted or captured a lot of monsters for the ecosystem. And at some point in the story, there's a big giant scary monster who preys on other big giant scary monsters, and you've hunted that monster, saving the ecosystem. Only to find out that the monster you've hunted and killed was the sole reason on why it keeps the ecosystem in check, because some of the other big giant scary monsters are just too powerful and might destroy the ecosystem, or maybe even the world. So the monster you've hunted only preyed and eat this other big giant scary monster. So you being there is just irrelevant to the story. And you might think, well, what about the people living there? Bruh, they traveled there by sea like conquerors. There were no humans living there until they came along. Maybe there's the cat tribes living there, but they're fine without us. Oh yes, let's kill all the monsters for the ecosystem. And for our benefits. I don't really like the story much. Sorry, not really. But that's only what I felt for the story of the game. The gameplay, on the other hand, is a different story. Did you see what I did there? Even though the story kinda sucks, the gameplay of this series is like no other. I mean, there were, but in my opinion, Monster Hunter did it best. But my friend said Monster Hunter is tied to God Eater, so maybe I should try that game sometime. Speaking of Monster Hunter, by the time I post this video on YouTube, Monster Hunter Wilds probably came out for a while now. Me and my friend already pre-ordered the game, but we're not playing it right now because we're still playing Monster Hunter World and we're live on Twitch. No way! Indeed, my trusty annoyed Palico. We first want to defeat Fatalis right now before going to Wilds because we don't feel we earned the right to play Wilds right now. Well, we played it in the past. It was in the beta test, but it was in the past, okay? Don't judge me. But me and my friend Graten are halfway through the DLC now. If you want to see how we beat Fatalis to a pulp, you should check out my stream on Twitch. I have a schedule if you guys wanna see me. Though, I'm from the Philippines, so it might be a different time for you guys. If you guys wanna see me play these games, please go watch them on my other channel. That channel is all about gaming, of course. Mostly VODs from Twitch or some recordings that we played offline. There are some shorts too, of course. Now, is it shameless to promote my other platforms in this video? Maybe, but I don't care. Well, that's it for the video. I hope you guys had a good time watching the video. If you didn't, well, I never wanted you to watch me anyway. But if you do, I hope I see you while we're live on Twitch. And I hope you watch our next video. And see ya on the next video. Hey, psst, did you like the video? Well, if you did, how about liking the video? On top of that, you should subscribe too. Ah, by the way, if you want more videos made by me, click here on the screen. Come on, just click it. It won't hurt ya. You won't? Okay then, fine. See you later, I guess.